Did you in fact commit those acts?
I'm going to invoke my Fifth Amendment right.
Have you ever solicited for prostitution in New York?
Same answer.
Have you ever solicited a minor for prostitution anywhere at any time?
I'd like to answer that question, but today I'm going to have to assert my Fifth Amendment rights.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. We are constantly refining our process here to ensure that we are covering the topics that you care about the very most. The best way to have a positive feedback loop with the audience is the data. We obsess over it. Something happened yesterday. A video that we made popped off, went way more viral than we thought it was going to. It's a Diddy video exposing Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, and a satanic cult to this Diddy trial. There does seem to be so much more underneath the surface, and we think we've actually cracked the code here. And it's worth exploring, and by the way, we're not the only ones now exploring this avenue. Let's begin with telling the quick story of Jonathan Odie. Jonathan Odie is this man. He certainly doesn't look healthy in this mugshot. He's in a mugshot here because he had just shot up a chandelier inside of President Trump's Doral, Miami resort. He shot up that chandelier to send a message to Donald Trump. Jonathan Odie, when he was interviewed by the police in a sworn deposition, says that he was the sex slave of Diddy, and everybody laughed that off, along with all of his other crazy claims at the time. But here's the thing. Life comes at you fast. Jonathan Odie claimed that Diddy paid him to have sex with his girlfriend, Cassie, at the time. And now Cassie has confirmed that that is the case. In court Wednesday, Cassie Ventura identified the former escort named Jonathan Odie as one of the men that Diddy hired for his freak-offs. Odie was arrested in 2018 after he shot the lobby of Trump Doral in Miami. When the cops questioned him, he said he was a sex slave and had sexual encounters with Cassie. The officer said that he had signed a non-disclosure agreement for $5 million to buy his silence after the freak-offs. It was a bizarre allegation at the time. Seemed like a raving madman making these claims. But now Cassie has said, nope, it's all true. Well, that's weird. Cassie said she saw Odie in Miami multiple times. She was shown his picture in court. Okay. Well, so wait a second. If someone's lying, typically it's easy to just catch them in one lie and then you realize they've been lying about everything. If someone's telling the truth, even if it's extremely far-fetched and sounds crazy, then you need to look at everything else that they're saying and try and figure out, wait, are they telling the truth about everything? When you look at what Jonathan Odie said in his deposition to police, you'll find some other remarkable tells. For instance, he predicted that President Trump would be shot and killed, a la JFK. That's why he was at Trump's club. He was trying to warn him. How did he know this? Because, by the way, that ended up being true as well. President Trump was shot in the head on live TV, just like JFK. He said that there is a CIA black group, a cover-up group for the Illuminati that's a satanic, animal-torturing, murderous predator cult that abuses children, and that Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and the Bushes are all part of it. How does he know this? How did he know that they were going to kill him? I mean, he predicted with pretty acute accuracy how they were going to try and assassinate Donald Trump. Apparently he knows this because he was at these Diddy parties, and of course he was he's quite intimately involved. He says that he was paid to have sex with Cassie 15 different times. So he was intimately involved in these Diddy parties, and he would listen, and he would hear what they were talking about. Liz Crokin reporting on this. Cassie Ventura confirmed the Trump hotel shooter, self-proclaimed Diddy sex slave, who claims Diddy, Hillary Clinton, and Obama are part of a satanic cabal trying to kill Trump, was one of Diddy's sex workers. In court today, Cassie Ventura identified Jonathan Odie. Diddy sex slave, Trump hotel shooter, Hillary Clinton and Obama are part of a satanic cabal, says he secretly recorded Diddy freak-offs due to fear Cassie would end up dead. Diddy sex worker Jonathan Odie, who engaged in shooting at Trump Doral, told News Nation in an exclusive jail interview that he has videotaped the freak-off parties. Where are those tapes? Jonathan Odie has been interviewed now by News Nation, which is a good and respectable news channel, very legit. And while it may seem insane, now people are starting to pick up on this. There's something much darker and much bigger happening here under the scenes. Will Diddy be allowed to stay alive throughout this courtroom engagement? It does really seem like he's the man who knows a little too much at this point. But let's watch. Here's News Nation introducing who Jonathan Odie is.
So in May of 2018, a man named Jonathan Odie opened fire at Donald Trump's Miami golf course and was shot and arrested by police. Now, Odie said that he was in the middle of a bipolar episode. That's where it gets interesting. Later, while being questioned by Florida authorities, Odie brought up something totally unexpected. He claimed that he'd been a sex slave for Sean Diddy Combs and Cassie Ventura. This video is courtesy of Real World Media. Take a look.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard lots of business. Because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with speakers and stuff, and I was like a sex slave.
So at the time, Odie's story seemed too far-fetched to believe, but not anymore.
Not anymore, because Cassie's saying, no, I know that guy. That's the guy that Diddy paid to have sex with me. So how did Jonathan Odie meet Diddy? Let's go.
I felt bad because I got along well with her, and I think she's a decent person. And unfortunately, I had a suspicion that she was in a situation that she was in, but I wasn't sure. And now I understand what was going on in my life and what was happening. And him beating her up in the hotel shows me the type of individual he is, and confirms that everything that happened to me was true and correct and in line with his personality.
So speaking to us from a Miami jail now, here is how Odie says it all began for him.
I was a male Chippendale, a model Chippendale, you could say. And they called me for a show they called me an agency that I work for to do a show. And then I went and did a show, and things led to them offering me more money to perform sexual acts. And that's it. That's how I basically got started. I get dressed like a police officer, I do a show, I do a strip down, and then, they offer me some more money. They offer me some more money to do some extra stuff.
So this is News Nation confirming the reporting that Odie is the sex slave of Diddy, and they got into the jailhouse and were able to ask him big questions like, what did you see? Like, what happened? What did you record on this video? What happened when you turned on Diddy? This is crazy. Here we go.
So Odie did get specific about the extra stuff that he says Diddy wanted from him, and these specifics were consistent with what he told law enforcement during the 2014 interrogation. Here is how he describes the atmosphere and how frequently it happened.
Candles, sensual atmosphere, lights off. He would sit in a corner in a sofa, watch and masturbate. And he'd say, he'd tell her, give her instructions what to do to me. Perform oral sex, rub baby oil. Then he'd tell me rub baby oil, perform oral sex, and then have sex.
How many times did you have sex with Cassie?
Probably like 15 sessions.
And what did you get paid? How much?
It would be like 800 each time. Each act. But sometimes they'll call me twice. I'll leave, and then 3 hours later, they will call me, come back.
And so Odie claimed that the sessions were drug-fueled, and that his concern for both Cassie and himself led him to get one of their sessions on video. Listen to what he says about that.
Why did you decide to record Or video?
Because after she passed out, I decided to record that. So in the event anything worse happened, like if she died, or anybody died, it will be on camera, it will be on video, what happened. So I wouldn't be responsible for any of that.
So you were beginning to worry about her doing drugs. I mean, like about her dying or him dying or somebody dying from the drugs, and that you would be held responsible. So you brought a video. You brought your phone?
No, I had a USB video memory stick done like a spy shop, and I put it in a wallet on the table, in the living room table of the hotel I was there. I just filmed it, and it had everything I described, and it had her threatening me. But he was telling her what to say. We had an argument. When I left, I knew they were paranoid. So I wanted to guarantee my safety. So I texted him. I said, "Hey, if anything happens to me, I got evidence I've been with you." At the settlement table, there was a lot of irregularities. Okay, It was my first settlement. So they brought me in, and Diddy had a T-shirt with 2 men in ski masks pointing, making gun signs. Okay, and it was black and white, and it had a red frame. Okay, but that's the way he operates. He communicates, threatening you, like saying, "I'm gonna have you killed."
And now Jonathan Odie is trying to make it right. Seems like he's a man who's been waiting trial for 8 years. Why does it take 8 years for him to get a trial? They're trying to silence this man. Where's the evidence? I mean, show us quite frankly, if he has the evidence of all of this, where'd it go? I mean, it really doesn't boggle the mind. Where did it all go? Who has it? The police force have it? Does the Florida police officers have it? We're going to do more investigation into this. But you don't pay $5 million worth of hush money to someone if they don't have the goods on you. And that's what Diddy did. Listen.
So Odie says to prevent the recording from going public, that's what he was just talking about, Diddy had him sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, in exchange for $5 million in hush money. This was in 2014. The Daily Mail ran a screenshot of what appears to be a signature page signed by Sean Combs and Odie. We have not been able to obtain the document or verify its contents or authenticity, nor have we been able to verify the existence of the video that you heard him talking about. Now, according to Daily Mail's report, the timing coincided with a spending spree by Odie of Florida real estate, and it also coincided with Odie's divorce. His ex-wife tells the Daily Mail that she found out about his windfall only after their split.
Basically, the day the incidents happened at Trump National Doral, I had to take a medication, and I'd been diagnosed bipolar, but I wasn't sure I was bipolar, and I had an episode, and basically I've been taking medication every day. I've been stable. I had no issues in jail. I've done excellent behavior in jail. I feel I'm ready to come out to society and be a productive member of society.
All right, so Odie remains locked up in a Florida jail, still awaiting trial on charges of attempted murder, armed burglary, aggravated assault, and armed grand theft. Regarding the sex slave claims, we've reached out to Sean Diddy Combs' team for comment and have yet to hear back.
So here it is confirmed by News Nation, by New York Post, and by Jonathan Odie. what was happening at Diddy's. So once you've eliminated if this person is a liar, which he hasn't lied about two things, he said Trump was going to be assassinated, a la JFK, and then he was Diddy's sex slave, well, then you have to then start to take into account what else he says, no matter how crazy it may seem. And maybe it doesn't seem crazy to you if you've been paying attention. Here, ladies and gentlemen, is Jonathan Odie in his deposition, his sworn testimony to the police, talking about the sex cult and predator cult that Diddy was part of with the Clintons, the Bushes, and the Obamas. It's crazy stuff. We're going to keep asking questions here. But this Diddy trial is, it's getting big. And it's getting dark. See ya.
So, I know you may or may not, I know you're going to believe me. You have what's called the Illuminati.
Illuminati.
Okay. Yeah, Illuminati.
Okay.
They've made it in dance. Basically what it means, illuminated.
Okay.
Okay. They do satanic ritual abuse, which is basically CIA mind programming techniques to their own family, kids, etc. on the crew, and they bond that way. Okay, so they do sexual pedophilia, they do animal abuse, killing of animals, blood sacrifices, and everything in the Bohemian Grove. Okay,
right.
The Bohemian Grove, the Bushes go there. George Senior and George, both of them are in the same agenda. They cousins with the Clintons. Okay,